Okay, so Peter, you've got a 30-day medicine retreat coming up in Pisac in Peru in August of this year, 2025. This is
Yes,
a big, big, big retreat. And
yes.
yes, there's some sensitivity around that. I know I've got questions for sure. So if I've got questions, I'm betting that other people have got questions as well. So I wanted to take the opportunity to really dig a little bit deeper into the whole intention and the idea around this retreat, just to help people be able to gain a clearer idea as to whether this is appropriate for them and whether they should choose to come along or not. So, with regards to the actual retreat itself, is there anything else that you want to say to introduce the retreat?
Basically, it's a classical part of shamanism as you progress on your path. If you're on the path of actually becoming a shaman, you do have more intense retreats going along. You start with the basic 9-day ones where you maybe do 4 or 5 ceremonies for your own healing. And as you're actually training more, you have these more intense initiation set up. This is part of the classic shamanic training. So I'm sticking to the very classical path of shamanism, basically, and offering people the next step.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know that when you and I were in Peru last time, I sat eating an empanada with you and drinking a coffee. You weren't drinking coffee, I was. You had your classical mango shake. But as you were talking to me about this 30 days, I had this urge of like, oh, I really, really want to go. But how do I know if I am ready for this level of intensity of the next step? How do I, what are the signs? What are the feelings that somebody might be experiencing that indicates, yes, now it's for you?
Well, first of all, you've done a couple of retreats before, the shorter ones, and you know what that's like. You know, you go through certain transformation, so you get a sense of how it works. Then you become aware that there's more. Sometimes a short retreat is enough to really go into your process to understand yourself and the medicine and your whole spiritual path more deeply. You've got to take time for this deeper path. So it's really when you're called, you've done the healing, basic healing. Either you want to go deeper into that healing or you want to actually explore further what it's like to be a shaman and go for greater basic spiritual expansion. It's also for those who are coming to realize that there's far more to life than what they've been presented with. It's not just the material plane. People want to explore the inner world. Once they start on this path, it's about finding how far they can go, finding the power, who they really are. So when you feel called to take a next step, that's when you go for it. It's about when you're ready to find more of yourself.
But I'm scared. I'm not going to lie. I'm scared. You know, like my spiritual expansion and growth and evolution has just accelerated over the last couple of years. And I
Mhm.
don't know if I can hack it. Like, I don't know if I can go to the next. I haven't even like managed to calm down from the previous expansion. Like, I'm scared. Like, what the hell's going to happen? Because I know
It is normal to be scared.
as I'm growing, the attacks are coming more. And it's like, can I deal with the next level? Am I ready for the next end of level baddie that comes along?
Oh yes, but you see, it's not all bad. Your power's growing. There are stages when you go through all these resistances, but you go through those
Mm,
as well. You don't want to stop there because then you're stuck in that level. You don't want to stay there. At some point, you go through all the kind of dark forces that have been against you, that limited you here. When that's broken through, it's gone. You don't want to stay on that level. You want to break through, make the next step. But also, fear is natural. You're probably aware of that the first time you took medicine. It's
mm,
scary.
yeah,
For many years, I still felt fear to some degree before taking medicine again,
yeah,
because you know where it's going. It's deep. It's shaking up inside and changing things. The
yeah.
thing is, when you're changing, it's like a mini death. The old you is gone and you was being born. It's like you're facing a fear of death every time. That gets easier because you realize that there's death is an illusion too. You go beyond it, and there's always more and more and more. You get used to the fact that's what you thought you were. It's not all there is. The fear
Mm.
gets easier to handle, but actually you get used to this fact that whenever you start this process, there's fear, and a big part of this growth, particularly with this medicine, is to face that fear and go beyond it. And once you've done that, it does go. And this is
But
true of all things in life. The fear of the unknown subsides once action begins.
mm, it's not so much the unknown. It's just I really don't feel like I haven't mastered this level yet. Like, so am I really ready for the next level? It's almost like, you know, I'm taking the elevator from floor 2 to floor 67. It's like, well, what was on floor 40 something? Like, you know, I
Well,
missed
it's
that
not
bit.
quite like that. You are going through all the floors, but maybe quickly. But you
Mm,
see, the idea is to get to the top.
Mm.
And no, we don't tend to spend too much time looking at the lower levels when you really got a bigger goal. We want to keep
Yeah.
going. So
And
it's not really about trying to master where you are, because the whole process is one of self-mastery. And each level, you're mastering yourself more. It's not
mm.
about mastering a technique. You will transcend every technique along the way.
And that is another concern of mine. Like, who will I become? Like, I know how much transformation occurs and how much I don't know myself at the end of a 9-day retreat, let alone at the end of 30 days. I don't even know if I like the same colors anymore. Like, you know, I'm scared about who I will become, and you know, will I still be me? Will I still like the things that I like? Will I still be able to do the things that I enjoy doing?
Will it matter so long as you're enjoying yourself and you're happy and more powerful and ecstatic?
Mm.
See, all these things are people's identities we use to hold on to keep us fear against the unknown. But basically, all of these images are false. Because what we are inside is pure awareness. We are gods, basically. And so we get expanding into that more and more and more. Each time you try and form an identity based on what you thought you were, that's going to go at some point. So you have to get used to that from the beginning. Don't hold on to past ideas you are, and don't fear what you're becoming, because what you're becoming is going to be more powerful, more beautiful, more in control, and more ecstatic and everything. It can only improve. So there's natural fear of actually losing what you thought you were, but realize that's got to happen for any form of growth. You're becoming what you really are, the God, letting go of those limitations.
But then what about everything around me, like my friends, my family, my where I live, what I do for work? Like, what if I don't want to change that? What if I don't want all of that to break down? What if I don't feel I can handle that?
Oh, it doesn't have to break down. You're in control. But you will do it with greater awareness. That's the thing. You have more tools to change anything you want. How you deal with people, everything is going to become deeper because of your awareness. Therefore, anything you choose to do, you can do in a more powerful way. You'll change how you do it. It doesn't have to stop you doing what you do.
So you talk about, because there was a couple of things that really excited me when I was listening to you talk about it, and the first one is around the whole shamanic thing, right? Like stepping into the onto the shamanic path, becoming the
Exactly.
shaman.
Mm.
So as a result of taking part, I mean, okay, let me go back one. I have this limitation, this secondary, that I am not a shaman. I don't deserve to be a shaman. I'm not worthy of being a shaman. I'm a charlatan. I'm a fraud, imposter syndrome. Like, part of me doesn't want to attend because I'm like, well, who am I to then turn around at the end of it and say, yeah, I'm a shaman.
It's not like that. You're not a shaman at the end of a retreat. It's one step in the training,
Mm-hmm.
and and there is no end to the journey. There's no point we say I'm there now because there's always
Mm-hmm.
more. When you become a god, that's different. When you control the whole universe, then maybe you can say I'm there. But that's not
Mm-hmm.
true either, because even that's continued to expand. Even God's
Mm-hmm.
expanding, you see. There is no point where you're there and say, I'm now a shaman. Yes, it generally takes 8 years training traditionally before you can call yourself shaman, but even that's generous. It varies according to which path you're on. When I began, it took 25 years training plus another 10 years on your own to find your own feet before you become a shaman. But the term is used so differently these days by many
Yeah.
people. But
Yeah.
generally in the medicine retreat, it's generally 8 years training before you can actually a shaman and
Mm.
run your own ceremonies. People do run ceremonies before that, but still under the guidance of their teacher.
Right, right,
They're
right.
still, they're still under a teacher, even though running your own. So you see, so it's a bit different from being a fully trained shaman. Doing one
Mm.
retreat doesn't make you a shaman; it's a step, another expansion where you're actually learning more on that path. Basically, on this retreat, apart from going through more transformation yourself, you learn the tools to actually hold sacred space, to gather the spirits and protect things and exercise and all those things to actually be able to do powerful healing on the medicine. So it will take you a point where you can actually work with it, yes. But that is not the end of the path. That's one step.
Because I think that the word shaman and shamanic healing and all of these things, it's rather cliched these days, isn't it? It's overused, it's overpopular,
Exactly.
and that puts me off as well. It's like,
Well, again, if you're really expanding, you don't pay attention to identities and
mm,
labels. It's about
mm,
expanding and realize every identity is just a mask and it's not important. And it's because you hold on to identity that you get afraid of changing it.
mm.
Now you're expanding and they feel more powerful, more able to control your life and do what you want, basically. And it's all your choice.
And so I mean, I've got two questions that are coming to mind. Well, many. The other thing that excited me about when we were talking was the fact that you said that all of my gifts, my skills, my shamanic healing abilities, the ones that are still hidden, they will be unearthed as a result of this process. And I'm like, oh, who am I? Like, because I learned so much more about who I am and myself in the last one. Holy crikey, did I learn a lot more about myself. And I literally said to you, like, who the hell am I? How is this going to help me unearth even the next step? Like what's it going to do for me? What am I going to be able to do when I come out of these 30 days?
A lot more than you could before, basically. As you spend your power, you have more possibility. And you still have choice. There's nothing says you have to do a particular thing or follow a particular path. It's all up to you. You're expanding, therefore having more choice, therefore being less limited. Yes, and there's always more self-discovery, and you find more and more of your power. It's all good.
And so after the 30 days, can I literally then, should I choose to, I could facilitate a medicine circle if I wanted to?
Yes.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is, and generally at this stage, people will still have the guidance of a teacher. You can run your own ceremonies while still actually, communicating with me about it and making sure you're safe with it and all those things, and being reminded of what to do and if you run into trouble. Make sure you can handle everything that comes up. And with some people who work even from a distance ask me to tune at that time to actually protect the space. And I can do that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember being in a ceremony once and someone called upon you because they couldn't handle what I was going through. All right, so the actual practicalities then of this 30 days. So what the heck? Because I'm like, I know what I feel like when I do it every other night just for 9 days. Every day for 30 days, Peter. That's a lot.
It is a whole different process. You see, generally when you do these short retreats, you have a day off in between. It's like, yes, you have a chance to go around again, integrate, and you go to the next level. But actually, in this process, you're in the process continuously. It's almost like you don't have got time to come down. But you don't have to have a strong dose every time. You go how you feel. If you don't feel like you're still feeling a bit sick or whatever, you can take a tiny little dose just to keep yourself going. What's going to be happening is more like a massive, long meditation retreat where you're going through transformation the whole way through. The medicine keeps you going. It keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. But it's your own process. You can decide how strong a dose you want every night. Sometimes a stronger dose, sometimes it's a tiny dose. But you keep going, that's the thing. So it's a different process.
What if you want
You've
a
got
day
30
off?
days of continuous. No, there is no day off because it's like you're in a continuous transformation. It's like when a caterpillar goes into a cocoon. It goes through its transformation, then comes out. You come out at the end, not halfway through.
But what if like I can't swallow it because I actually feel really sick? Like what if something like that happens where I'm too tired to come? I can't do it. I don't want to do it.
But that does happen. People come and just say that night you take a tiny dose and just carry on meditating because you will be in the process in the ceremony. Transformation will keep happening, and a very small dose will keep that process going without having to actually push you too far. That's the thing. It's not like doing a single ceremonies anymore. It's like a continuous process. For those 30 days, you're going through massive transformation, and the process is continuous. There's more and more realizations, more expansion, more awakening. It's continuously happening.
And this might seem like a ridiculous question, but actually it could be a concern for someone. Like, is it actually physically and emotionally safe to take every day for 30 days?
It is just for the 1 month. I wouldn't keep doing it. But it's like if you do 1 month and stop, okay, the transformation's happened, you can then relax, recover, and integrate, and just take time to find out how you are and come back to a more balanced diet and so on. But it's like, for 30 days, yes, it's very doable because it's been done many times over centuries. It is a very transformative process that we go through when you're becoming a shaman.
So when we're talking about becoming a shaman, right? Because this is very practitioner based. But what if someone isn't interested in becoming a shaman or a practitioner? What if they just want to work with the medicine?
Of course you can. It's like you don't have to become a practitioner. Not all shaman are practitioners. It's your own life that makes the shaman. It's how you communicate with the spirit world, how you handle power, how you feel in control of everything through your connection with the spirit world, how you can actually then do your magic and make changes, how you can actually protect yourself from any negative forces and help others when you need to. It's like you have the power, basically. You don't have to be a practitioner. Some people want to become practitioners, yes. Others people just want to expand themselves. Just take us further on their own journey. That's the thing. You don't have to be fixed to this particular path either. Whatever path you're on, it's a journey which takes you deeper into yourself. So it can be a completely different path you follow, but this will actually take you further along that. helps transformations take you further wherever you're going.
Yeah, I think for me, more than the practitioner side, it's like unearthing who I am and what
Exactly,
I
that's what
am
it's about.
becoming in an because I would assume that attending this 30 days would accelerate that. I mean, I'm on that path anyway, right? That's going to
Totally,
happen,
yes.
but
That's what
this
it's
is going
about.
to accelerate it. So it's like, okay,
Exactly.
let's just do it. Let's just find out who I am. So that's what really really interests me, more than the then afterwards I'm going to change my website and I'm going to say that I'm an ayahuasca practitioner. That's not my bag. It might be someone's, but it's
No,
it's just not who I am.
you don't have to change anything. It's like change is
No,
happening anyway, and you have more choice.
yeah, and so I don't feel like I have to do something with this
No,
newfound status.
the whole thing about finding more freedom is that you don't have to do anything. You're free to do anything.
Am I going to have to prepare myself in any way? Like, do I have to let go of anything? Do I have to like prepare myself physically of anything? It'd be like, or can I just turn up?
It's that'd be the same as a shorter retreats. You just to make sure you're in a good space. You're being a good nutrition, not having too much junk, so you not have not too much toxins to clean out at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
just be ready for time of transformation. It's really it's time of reflection and prayer and meditation to actually decide where you're going, have some intention set, and have an idea of what you're becoming, where you're going on
Mm.
your path.
And this is a practical question that goes through my mind as well. Is obviously I work remotely, I work online. Um, I'm wondering about like, and some people have children and things like that. Like it's a month, it's a long time. Can we
Hmm.
still engage in our normal daily mundane responsibilities during this time, or do you really suggest that we completely cut off?
Well, no, people can still like to follow the online work and so on, but there'll be times you don't do it so much because you're in a process. But of course,
Mm,
you want to retreat to you away from everything else, so you're not really interacting with the usual things and going out to
mm,
work and with the family and so on. You got this space of retreat where you are in this space, and everybody else in the retreat is in that space, so it kind of keeps you together.
mm-hmm. And a lot is going to be happening inside, internally. And
Yes.
everyone's going to be triggering each other, and a lot's going to be happening externally also.
No, what I usually do happen in these retreats, people have more time to be quiet and alone, so there's less interaction, therefore there's less
Ah,
projection.
mm,
You will find that when you get to this process for this time, you will be more inside. There's less space to actually project onto other people and have these conflicts. Although people
right.
trick you, it won't be necessary. You'll be in your process anyway. Maybe you'll be going through your own process quietly, then get together, support each other at times to understand they all have going through a similar process. But apart from that, it's quite quiet. They're just going through interchange.
Because obviously you'll be there.
Yep.
But what other support can people? I'll tell you where my question is coming from. I know how I have felt after a 9 day one. I know how I felt after the last intensive, the 3 weeks point holding, and then the 9 days
Mhm.
ceremony. That was insane. Sometimes I can just feel completely void. I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Like because we're transforming, right?
Exactly.
What can people expect in terms of support during, but particularly after such a thing? Because in my experience, that's when it's really needed after.
Actually, it's been less necessary after 30-day retreats and because it's more complete.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do a 9-day retreat and it's the first time you don't know what it's about, it's of course there's a lot of questions, a lot of wondering what's happening. But you
Mm-hmm.
understand that process now. You understand the healing crisis. When you're a
Mm-hmm.
30-day retreat, it's a longer process. You kind of go right through something and out the other end, and it's by the end of it's complete. As it's like when a caterpillar goes into its cocoon, comes out a butterfly after, so then it's done. If you come out halfway through, then it's a problem. But because it's a complete retreat, a longer time, the transformation is more complete. You're more ready to come back to life, back to the world. It's like Prometheus coming back with the fire from heaven.
Who?
Prometheus stole the fire from heaven.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
you've been off and you come back to the world bringing the fire from heaven. That's the feeling of it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, well, what do you want to ask me? I've asked a lot of questions.
Okay, well, what do you want to get out of it?
I, I, the first word that came to my head was change. I want. What do I want? I want to become. I want to know who I really am, because I know that this isn't it. As in, and I know we're all growing and we're all expanding, but I know that there's a lot more hidden. like I said to you
Exactly.
in the last retreat, when we found out about stuff about me, about the fairy world and, and the dragon world and all this. And I'm like, and I literally said to you, why? Because like I had no idea that I was capable of any of this. Like
Mm.
I want to know what else is there underneath. Or
You only find
like,
that you only find that when it comes up. But what you're saying is just what I was talking about a few moments ago. You want to change. You
mm.
find it more who you are. That's exactly why you do this retreat. So yeah, that's fine. That's the kind of attention people have.
And I want to fulfill what I promised to do. I mean, even if I don't know what that promise is, right? I mean, I'm, the path is unfolding in front of me
Mm-hmm.
as a result of the last one, and I do believe there's other elements to this promise that I made that I'm unaware of right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also really, I'm what the conflict I have is, well, if this is what I promised to do, why do I not seem to be able to do it? Does it not seem to be successful for me right now? That's a conflict I have. Right, you're telling me that I'm this being, that I'm here to do all these things, but I try and it doesn't bloody work.
It takes time to step into it sometimes. You're still going through all the resistance, all the past
Mm,
conditioning, which says you're not, and it just says you're small. This is what I'm saying, we have to let go of these old identities.
mm,
This is a process to actually take you deeper into that, to get rid of more of those resistances and illusions, and to come more and more into who you really are.
mm-hmm,
As you see, it's like it sometimes takes a deep process now. You go so far, and people realize, no, they need another push. They're not quite there.
mm.
Because it's like, well, that's simple to talk about. Yes, you're gods, but actually living that is another thing.
And I
So many
think,
layers of condition are going to come out.
yeah, and I think I want to take the cover off of what I don't know.
Right.
I
And
think,
there's always unknown, and that's okay. You see, there's all a creation, and sometimes we create not knowing.
mm, yeah.
That's okay. It's a creation too.
So how do I know if this is right for me then?
When you feel the pull, when you feel, as I said, and you said to yourself, you want to actually find out who you are. You want to wake up. You know, there's more than what's around you, more than this in this world. You want to find out how far you can go, who you really are, what your power is. That's why people come to it.
But with power comes responsibility, and with responsibility, it's scary sometimes. And also, like
Okay.
I said, from my experience from the last one, it's like, oh shit, does anyone else want to come after me?
Of course, people love it.
I'm
They come out
scared.
empowered, and life changes. But let's look at this. Some of these statements you say, like, with power
Mm-hmm.
comes responsibility. Yeah, big one put out by Spider-Man, I believe. And
What was
it's
that?
yeah, it's true.
Spider-Man? What?
Yeah, to me, it's a Spider-Man. He was told with power comes responsibility.
All right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what that's coming from. And it's true, but people don't understand what that really is. Responsibility is the ability to respond. It's not a burden. It's not a fault. It's not you carrying the weight of the world. It's the ability to respond.
Mm.
The more you wear or more power you have, the more you can respond. That's what it's about. And it's not a burden. It's a freedom because you are more able to respond in many different ways.
But I also feel like the more responsibility I take, like the more aware of who I am I become, and the more responsibility I take on, the more alone I feel.
Doesn't have to be. That too is conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
There's these old sayings like, further up you go the mountain, the lonelier is the path. But actually, that's
Mm-hmm.
all your creation too.
Mm-hmm.
You meet different people. You tune into different people weren't even aware of before who are on a different level. You
Mm.
make different connections on a much deeper level. Some of the old
Yeah.
friends might fall away because they're not meeting you there, but you meet people who do meet you on that level. It's
Yeah.
change, but it's not lonely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of
That's
this
for sure.
loneliness actually comes from ego. People think they are too good for other people. They think they can't communicate with others because they're better. That's all ego.
Mm.
No, you can still understand people. You can understand them better, even if they don't understand you. It doesn't separate you.
Yeah. And the other reason why I want to do this is because I don't know if you're ever going to do it again.
Well, it doesn't happen very often. It's
No.
not something you do every year because it's like people have to have done this work for a while and they're ready for this step. It's been, well, more than 10 years since I last did it.
Yeah. I don't want
So
to
it
miss
doesn't happen very
out.
often. Exactly. So now's the time. It's there. If we
Yeah.
want to, and that's a big thing you always face. The main thing is you have to let go of fear and procrastination. There's always fear, but also there's always procrastination. Well, now's your chance. You do it or you miss it.
Brilliant. But it's a big investment, though, Peter. It's a
It
big
is.
investment.
It is, and this is what affects people's choice whether they feel ready for it, because it is a big step. This is out beyond the normal short retreats of be going through healing. It's now okay. Here's a big retreat where you're going to come out changed to really find out who you are. It's something you do once in your life.
Hmm.
So yes, it's like, do you feel ready? Do you ever feel ready? If it comes back in 10 years' time, you'll have the same questions.
Here's another one, right? Boredom. I was bored on the last one. In the same little village, walking the same road, to go and drink the same juice every damn day. Like it was
Yeah,
boring.
there's not much life in that village, no, but it means that you're more time for you in the process. And even
Yeah.
boredom is something you might have to face. Remember, we store these emotions away, the apathy and boredom at the lower levels. That's the worst ones to deal with. They have to come out first. I've
Yeah.
been there not just for this retreat, but even when I first did point holding, it's like that came out every session till I actually got to the memories behind it of how boring things have been in the past, for instance. It's all coming out, you see. These
Yeah.
emotions are part of the healing too. They
Yeah.
pass.
Because at least we managed to kill the boredom with training Muay Thai every other
Mm.
day. But in this
Hmm.
one, I don't know if I'll be able
That's
to.
true. But then you'll be in a process. If you feel up to
Yeah.
Muay Thai, fine, you can do it. If you're in your process, you'll be in that process. So it's
Yeah.
still less time for boredom. But if you feel
Yeah.
boredom for a while, you go through it and it passes.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to ask me?
No, I think that's it. I said it's hard to actually put questions to it because this is an unknown process, but it is part of shamanism and it is that step. You do it when you feel called for that search into yourself, to step more into your power and who you really are.
Mhm.
Not
And
just to
so,
be, not just for protectionists, but anyone who's on their journey is actually finding themselves.
so just to clarify then to everybody that this isn't necessarily, just a retreat for those that want to become practitioners. It is not necessarily those people who want to step onto the path of uh, professionally becoming a shaman. That was the word I was looking for. Professionally becoming a shaman. This could be just because you want to explore yourself or explore the medicine or explore the village of Pisac in Sacred Valley of Peru. So, yeah, any final departing words that you would like to say to somebody, Peter, who might be considering this and might be on the fence?
Listen to your heart. And also observe your fears. Observe the procrastination, those things which shouldn't hold you back. If your heart calls you and you know it's time, do it. But if there's doubt, that's okay too. But it might be a long time before there's another one. But this is an opportunity if you feel ready for it.
And if you do feel the pull, if you are listening to your heart and you do want to come along, then your call to action, what you need to do is to email Peter to let him know that you are interested. And then, Peter, you will have a conversation with that person.
But you can talk if they need to. If they just want to come and that's it, we'll talk. We're there. But if they want to ask questions first and discuss it further, that's okay too. We can talk about it.
Yeah, but they can't just say, yeah, I'm coming. Surely you want to make sure that they're the right type of person and they've paid,
Well,
they've done
after what I
9 days
said,
before and everything.
yes, but after what I've spoken about, they should know that now. Is they've done a
Yeah,
few short retreats, they're ready for a bigger journey, and then if they're up to that, they can come.
brilliant. So maybe you'll see me there. Maybe you won't.
Okay,
I
all
don't
right.
know. So if anyone does have any questions, please feel free to email Peter and ask him, and he will get back to you. And good luck with your decision making. May you all have a wonderful retreat if you attend. Thank you very much, Peter. Speak to you all soon.
Thank you. Okay, bye.